Today we are starting our seeds indoors to get a jump start on our summer garden. Follow along if you'd like to learn what we are planting this year, or if you'd like to learn how to start a garden or start seeds indoors. Hi, I'm Alicia from Homemade Homestead, and today I have with me my husband, Matthew.
Hello!
So we have a few different plots of land that we do our gardening on. The first plot of land is our own in our backyard. We have an in-ground garden, and then we have several containers, several raised beds. But that isn't enough to meet all of our gardening needs. So we have a couple garden beds on my parents' farm. So today I thought I'd share with you what types of plants that we're going to grow and where we get our seeds from. So you can purchase seeds from a lot of places. I've seen them in grocery stores, hardware stores, and there are a bunch of online suppliers as well. I think that primarily where I get a lot of my seeds from is Baker's Creek or rareseeds.com. Going through, I used to have a lot of variety of all these different seed companies, but I do find that a lot of my seeds come from Baker's Creek. So I like to purchase my bush beans from them. In the past I have pole beans. We have our kale from them. We also have our loofah that we like to grow and harvest for natural sponges for like washing dishes and stuff in the kitchen. I have a random seed packet from Green Stock, which I haven't tried. But you can also purchase seeds from Fedco Seeds. They're Seed Savers, Johnny Seeds, and I've also had a lot of success with True Leaf Market. These seeds are pole bean seeds, so just your average kind of green bean, except it grows vertically. But a lot of our medicinal seeds come from Strictly Medicinal Seeds. We like to buy a lot of our herbs from there. This one is hops. And then just the other day I went to actually Home Depot and purchased a lot of my flower seeds. This is for our cut flower garden. So I have sunflowers here. We have dahlias, petunias, cosmos, some random brands in here, and then we have Burpee as well. So let's see. I think that covers everything. So Matthew,
And it's ever changing.
Matthew, why don't you share with our friends what are the best seeds to start indoors?
Of course. So you gotta remember that you're planting indoors because you want to take it the seeds time to germinate and give them a chance outside of the frost, any rough elements. We live in Ohio. It can shine, it can rain, it can hail and snow all within a week of each other. So giving them an indoor little sanctuary is some of the best ways to provide a chance for them to grow. We like to grow our peppers and tomatoes, especially inside. We do some flowers, but most of our peppers, our tomatoes, some of our lettuce. But lettuce can also be cold hardy. We have a greenhouse in our garden out here, and lettuce is especially really good for a cold frame. Excuse me. So if you have a cold frame, things like parsley, different kinds of lettuce. I prefer. I like. I believe it's called Jericho Walls of Jericho lettuce.
Yes, but that's not in a cold frame.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm still learning my lettuces. But anyways, the best way through other than experience on what would work indoors and outdoors, because you want to make sure, like, you don't want to plant a tomato outside in May, and by the time you're ready to harvest it, the first frost is going to come by. So the best way to do it is actually to look back at your behind your package of seeds, and it will tell you well, the planting instructions. So for example, I have our blue lake bush beans, yep, and it says require no stalking, direct seed after last frost, soaking seeds overnight, pick frequently to keep plants productive. So it's some of the instructions are very generic. After the first frost of the season, or excuse me, last frost of the season, you plant them, and there you go. So some of them, make sure you check, because each packet of seeds, each kind of vegetable or fruit, whatever you're wanting to plant, is going to have either very generic instructions or very precise. Like when we were planting shallots the other night, they had to be 3 inches next to each other, not closer, because they obviously grow. So a popular seeds to start indoors, like I said, tomatoes, peppers, okra, kale, broccoli, and not to mention some of the herbs that we use, such as calendula, excuse me, lemon balm, great for teas, and cilantro. Cilantro?
Cilantro.
Close enough, but you understand. And again, it also through experience. Sometimes you're going to try and plant things indoors, and maybe it's too cold, maybe it's too hot. So you just have to each day check your plants on how they're developing. If they're turning a little yellow, maybe they need water. Maybe if you have a heating pad, maybe you need to lay off of it for a little bit. It's just keeping an eye on your plants day by day, because you have to water them already. So you may as well just keep an eye, and again, experience. And a really nice way to kind of keep tabs on things is the official gardener handbook, handcrafted beautifully, such as our flowers and plants, by my loving wife. So this actually has numerous things to fill in. Oh, we have notes right here. So we have notes of all the things that we're going to grow and where. It also has a planting calendar.
Mm-hmm. Like a seed log to know when you should plant something, how much of what you planted, a harvest tracker. Here's the indoor seed starting page. So as we start planting today, you'll probably see me filling this out so that we know what germinated, what didn't, all those details. And
this gardener handbook also includes things such as any trouble, such as pest or weather, so you can always make notes and whatnot. But this is available for purchase, 50% off right now, since gardening is right around the corner. So where can they go to get this?
You can go to homemadehomestead.com and click on the shop button, and you will see it right there.
Fantastic. So, like I said, that is, I'm going to put that right there so I don't get it dirty, because I'm right next to the soil. So, with those suggestions of mine, not all seeds should be started indoors. Again, check your seed packlets, but anything that's described as cold hardy can be planted outside. Again, like parsleys and lettuce and whatnot. Even some carrots too, right?
Carrots can, and sometimes it's not always about the temperature, but they just do better when they're directly sown. We have found things like zucchini really well directly sown. Often, most of our green beans, they do totally well, totally fine, just directly sown into the garden.
Yeah. So again, check your instructions, and of course, learn every day as you start your gardening adventure.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people ask, when do I start the seeds indoors? And that really all depends on where you're located. So for us in Ohio, we plant about 45 to 60 days prior to our last frost date, which is generally about Mother's Day. This year we are a little bit behind. We had a storm come through and it knocked out our power for several days, so we couldn't get any kind of seed started. We didn't have access to any kind of grow lights or anything like that. So before you start your seeds indoors, the best way to know not only when to plant or when your last frost date is, but also what grows best in your climate is to figure out your zone number. And I have a link on the blog for you guys to click that and figure that out. So anyway, I guess we should go ahead and get planting. There are a variety of ways to plant indoors. We are going to do some of soil blocking today, where you can plant in trays like these. These are our burpee trays that we find do really well. Not that you can see, but below this table, you'll see later in the video, we have some wind strip trays. They're great. You can do it in pots or even solo cups do really well. So follow along and you can learn how to start seeds indoors too. Step 1. Select a container. Many of our seeds are started on a styrofoam tray. We use a 3/4 inch soil blocker to plant our small seeds. Then we place the cubes onto the tray. We've also used black plastic trays to sow seeds into. Last year we added some burpee reusable seed starting trays into our gardening supplies and planted some flowers in them. This year we're going to plant some okra and calendula seeds into those trays. Other great containers to use to start seeds in are plastic seed starting cells, wind strip trays, solo cups, gardening pots, or even styrofoam coffee cups. Step number 2. Prepare the soil. Once you've selected a container, it is time to fill it with dirt. There are an assortment of DIY potting mixes out there, but if you'd prefer to save time, you can use potting soil, a quality potting soil. We have had great success with the Master Nursery Bumper Crop potting soil. Fill your chosen container with dirt, place your seed into the center and cover with a light layer of soil. Gently sprinkle with water and add a covering over the pot such as plastic wrap. The plastic wrap acts as a greenhouse, keeping the soil moist and warm until the seed sprouts. Upon sprouting, you can remove the cover. If you decide to use a soil blocker, click on the link in the description box to learn how to use this tool. Step 3. Add light. Place your trays or containers either next to the south-facing window with plenty of sunlight or under a set of grow lights. Grow lights can be a hefty investment. Instead of purchasing grow lights, we decided to purchase some lighting from Lowe's that has a similar effect to grow light. Our lighting system hangs on a chain from the top of our metal shelving unit. The lights start out pretty close to the seedlings in the beginning as the plants grow, then we move the lighting system higher one chain link at a time. Step 4. Caring for your seeds. Now that your seeds have been planted, it can take a few days or up to a couple of weeks for the seeds to sprout. As your seedlings grow, it is important to nurture them. Keep your seeds moist and your sprouts watered. It is best to water from the bottom of the tray or container to build up a strong root system, but sometimes that's not always possible depending on the seed tray that you are using. Some plants prefer a warm environment like tomatoes and peppers, so we set them on a seedling heating mat while they sprout. The heating pad tends to dry the soil blocks out quickly, so keep a close eye on them. We are just about finished planting for the day. If you'd like to learn how to harden off seedlings or to transplant them into your garden, be sure to check out the links in the description box.
And don't forget to stop by the blog and pick up for half off the official Gardener's Handbook for all of your gardening details and needs.
Well, until next time, friends, happy gardening.
Bye.